Leaders come together to Jerusalem to discuss together how we continue the battle against COVID. Israel has been at the forefront of this battle and has met those challenges, as you have too in your respective countries. We are now emerging from the corona with the green passport, having vaccinated 90% of our population has received one jab or two, or has already recovered. So we don't have that far to go. I wouldn't say that we're rushing towards herd immunity, but we're getting there, and we'll see how that works. I think Israel serves as a model for the world, and we're discussing some of our experiences, sharing those experiences with our friends, and indeed your two wonderful friends for Israel. But we're discussing something else, and this is the main purpose of this visit. I think we're all aware, the three of us, that once we get over this cycle of the disease, we have no guarantee that it won't come back. We don't know how long, nobody knows how long these vaccines will hold up. Is it half a year? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it more? Is it less? We don't know. And therefore we have to protect our people against the reemergence of this pandemic or mutations. And we want to create two capacities. We think that by joining our resources, the resources of three small but very able and gifted countries, we can better meet these challenges. What we're talking about is establishing a joint R&D fund of Israel, Austria, and Denmark, and beginning joint efforts for common production of future vaccines. I think this is something that we have to do because we're going to probably need, I can't say with certitude, but with very high probability, we'll probably need protection for the future.
I think I can say on behalf of both Cnceler Kurz and myself that we are very inspired of Israel's ability to roll out the vaccines. And we cannot allow us to be caught off guard once again. We have new mutations, maybe new pandemics, as you said, and maybe new health crises will endanger our societies again.
It's always a pleasure to be here in Israel, but at the moment the world is looking at Israel. The world is looking at Israel with admiration because under your leadership, Mr. Prime Minister, Israel is the first country in the world vaccinating its population. And Israel is the first country in the world that shows that it is possible to defeat the virus. And I will never forget the beginning of the year 2020 when we had a phone call and Bibi Netanyahu told me that this virus will be a huge threat to the whole world, also to Europe, even if we don't know it at the moment. And you were maybe the main reason why we reacted quite early in Austria when the first wave hit us hard in the European Union. Together we have been in a close cooperation in the First Movers Group for a year now. And I think one thing is very clear. This pandemic can only be overcome through global cooperation. And I think we also all agree that vaccines will allow us to return to normality in the summer. But we have to prepare already now for the next stages of the pandemic after the summer. Experts say that in Austria alone we will need about 30 million vaccine doses in the next few years.